with the Global First coming out this month, I wanted to make a video covering all of my predictions of who might be the Global First and who probably won't be the Global First. I'm going to separate this video into 3 parts. I'm going to be talking about who it probably won't be, existing units that might be the Global First, or even completely new characters. What I don't think the Global First will be is early FR or BTs. In my 2+ years of experiencing Opera Omnia, Global First have never been just early units that JP already has. I mean, it wouldn't really be a Global First because, you know, JP had it first. Cloud FR, Zack FR. I don't think that would be a good move for Opera Omnia or Square Enix to just use an early FR or BT as the Global First. I don't think that would be very smart. The second group of units that I don't think will be the Global First will be units who already have either an FR or a BT. Whether it be Global or JP, if any unit has either FR already or a BT already, I don't think they're going to be the Global First. If a unit already has an FR or a BT, their playstyle and kind of how they function as a unit is pretty much already set in stone. If you already have an FR or BT, having the other weapon won't really change much of how you as a unit will function. For example, Aranea, who I don't think will be the Global First, already has her FR. If she suddenly got a BT, I don't think her role as a breaker/third-party unit will change very much. It's not like if she ever got a BT, she would suddenly turn from a third-party unit to a support unit. I don't think it would work like that. So essentially, if a unit with either an FR or a BT already would be the Global First, it wouldn't really be anything new. Just getting one more weapon probably won't change much. If there's going to be a Global First of a unit that's already in Opera Omnia, it would have to be a unit that only has up to an LD. Units like Sephiroth, Vincent, in my opinion, I don't think they're going to be the Global First. Some other units that I don't think will be the Global First would be Ida, Thancred, and Palom. All of them only have up to their LDs, so in my opinion, it could be possible for them to actually be the Global First. However, I don't think they're going to be the Global First because, let's be honest, they're not the most hyped characters in the game. Global First unit are a very anticipated and hyped moment of the year for Opera Omnia players, so if it ended up being a random character like Ida or Palom, I think Opera Omnia might die, low-key. But I imagine if they're picking a Global First unit, it would have to be someone that's very hyped in the community. More on that, we're moving on to the second part, which is existing units that might have the Global First. Alice is a very favored character in the community, and I know people loved using Alice a lot in their runs when she originally came out. I think she would be a very cool character to give a BT and FR to for a Global First. She would do great damage, and her playstyle is very refreshing compared to other DPS units. Her turns get moved around a lot. What I like about Alice is she has a lot of freedom to her kit, and I think if she ever had a BT and FR, she would be a lot of people's favorite unit to play in the game. The next one I want to talk about is Selphie. Now, I haven't personally played Final Fantasy VIII, so I don't know how relevant of a character she is in the main game. However, I do know in Opera Omnia, she is one of the most broken units, despite not having either a BT or an FR. She is the absolute launch queen, and I think if she ever got a Global First, she would be similar to Garnet in the sense that she would essentially break the entire game. Again, I'm not sure how important she is in the Final Fantasy VIII storyline. However, I do think her being so good in Opera Omnia, that I think would make it hype enough if Selphie ever was the Global First. Barret would be a good choice as a Global First, in my opinion, because as you guys know, Final Fantasy VII Remake has been relatively recent and still kind of relevant, in the Final Fantasy community, in my opinion. That I think despite him, you know, not being in Crisis Core, which was the newest game, he would still be a good choice to pick as the Global First. He's one of the only few Final Fantasy VII main characters, maybe even the last, that still has to have either a BT or an FR. Everyone else got either the BT, FR, even both. Come on, you can't do Barret, arguably the best dad in the entire franchise. You have to make him relevant somehow. How is he going to bring food to the table and still be able to take care of Marlene? It doesn't even have to be Global First. Just someone give him a BTFR, please. The next people I want to talk about, again, are possibilities. However, I don't think them being the Global First would be as likely as the last two I just listed. Freya, Gladiolus. They're more side characters in the game, so the chances of them having the Global First isn't as high in my opinion. However, I do think they are well liked enough in the community that I still think it would be understandable if they were ever actually chosen. Freya, Final Fantasy IX, they might just follow up with the same series as last year. And Gladiolus, everyone loves Gladiolus. I know a lot of people have been waiting for his BT and FR to come out, and I think if he was ever chosen as the global first, it would be cool. Now that we've gotten all of the existing units out of the way, I want to get to my favorite part of the video, which is brand new units that might be coming to Opera Omnia as the global first. I'm going to be talking about a lot of characters, some that people agree with, and some that would confuse the hell out of you. I'm going to be grouping some units into series. So the first series I want to talk about is Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. So if Square Enix did choose for a completely new character to be the global first, I think Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core characters might be a very good choice. For example, Angeal. I haven't played Crisis Core myself, but Angeal seems to be kind of in the same realm as Core, kind of being the dad of the group, the mentor role. I'm just like being very vague with my description of him because I have no idea who he is personally, but I think people would like it if he was actually the global first. The second Crisis Core character that I think would be cool as a global first would be Genesis. Genesis is actually the main antagonist of Crisis Core, and some people actually enjoy when villains come out as banners more than heroes sometimes. I don't know how cool Genesis is. Do people love Genesis? I'm not too sure. I think that would be pretty cool marketing if you had the main villain join Opera Omnia. The next series of characters that I think would be a good choice to choose as a global first would be Final Fantasy Tactics. It's been memed for a very long while that Final Fantasy Tactics characters almost never get love. You have, I think, two characters, which is Ramza and Agrias. Agrias literally has not been touched for the longest time since early Lufenia Plus era. Ramza, while he is very good, he more often than not is the sole representative of Tactics. I think a lot of people can agree with me here. It's been long due since they've added a new Tactics character, and I think there are a number of good options to add from Tactics. For example, Delita. I don't know if I pronounced that name correctly, but Delita, I think he would be a very fun choice and very hype, and I think he's a character that a lot of people could get around if he was actually chosen. Sidolphus or Landu, I probably butchered the hell out of that name, but you know, from what little I've read of him in the wiki pages, he kind of gives off like group dad, mentor, teacher vibes. If you pick Core, you might as well pick Sidolphus, you know what I'm saying? Actually, I have no idea. But I think either Delita or Sidolphus would be not bad picks for global firsts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about that. The final character that I want to talk about, and I'm pretty sure everyone's been waiting for her for a very long while, Riku. It's the biggest running meme that's been happening for so long, and it's the most hilarious thing I've ever seen in my life because people are literally threatening not to play the game until Riku is released. So I think as a global first, if you actually did choose Riku, that would just be an amazing business move from Square Enix. At this point, it wouldn't even matter whether Riku was good or not in the game. Just the fact that she's in the game would make people happy enough. Honestly, guys, I've never played Final Fantasy X, and I didn't even know who Riku was before I played Opera Omnia. All I know is so many people want her. If she ever did come out, that would be the coolest thing ever. Now, as a final addition to this video, I wanted to talk about perhaps non-Dissidia characters that would be cool if they were ever chosen as a global first. Now, is this very likely to happen? Absolutely not. Opera Omnia has never added anyone outside of Final Fantasy characters into their game. It's a very, very low chance that these people would actually show up, but if they ever did, I think that would be so cool. I have two characters I want to talk about. The first character I want to talk about is Mont Leonis from World of the Visions. I mean, both games are related to Final Fantasy. Both games are headed by Square Enix. If you had a World of the Visions character go ahead and join Opera Omnia, I think that would be good marketing for both games, honestly. I think it would attract World of the Visions players to maybe try out Opera Omnia, and it would also goad some Opera Omnia players to go ahead and try World of the Visions. Whether World of the Visions is a good game or not, I'm not going to get into that. But in my opinion, from a business standpoint, I think this will be a fairly smart move to do. Having Mont Leonis in Opera Omnia with, you know, an FR, BT, LDEX, all of the moves translated over, I think that would be a really, really interesting thing to see. Okay, now this last character is a bit of a pipe dream for me, but I think it would be so amazing if it ever happened. Just imagine if the Dissidia Opera Omnia global first for the year 2023 was Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Like just listen to me for 1 second. If Sora came to Smash Bros, Sora can come to Opera Omnia. I'm sorry, no one can tell me differently. If there was one non-Final Fantasy character that would have the highest likelihood possibly being in Opera Omnia or in a Final Fantasy game in general, it would be Sora. Okay, Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy have crossed platforms before, before. It's not like it's impossible for it to happen. If you have freaking Addison Rae and Ariana Grande in your Final Fantasy games, you might as well add Sora into it. Come on now. It wouldn't be the most far-fetched character to add at this point. Anyways, that was all my predictions. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. I'll see you later. Bye!